democracy were an Oreo, facts are the cream. Best part, holds everything together. Everything fractures without it, right? This week is News Literacy Week, helping people discern fact from fiction or misinformation that always seems to be floating around right now. So we're going to talk about that, but let's get back to our pop quiz. Have you been waiting? The question before the break, we put it like this. Which source can provide valuable information from a scene, but can also be unreliable? And again, it's a bit tricky. Anonymous? I don't know exactly what that means, but the source is not necessarily agenda-driven in any way. Think you got it? The answer is D, eyewitness sources. They can be terrific, and they can be pretty bad. Being able to sniff out quality sources of information every day, it's not always cut and dry. Sometimes it takes asking a few questions, tough questions, even a little skepticism. That's why the Scripps team, our parent company, is working with the News Literacy Project on a national initiative here at Newsy. We want you, to bring the tough questions, even to us, so we can get reliable answers, well-sourced facts. We're celebrating News Literacy Week so we can all get better at what we share and consume when it comes to news. Tonight, news literacy in the classroom. Media literacy education can help fight what researchers call truth decay, according to a RAND report. It's stated in part, quote, ML, that's media literacy, if you're one of the cool kids, increases participant resiliency to disinformation and is able to change the way participants consume, create, and share information. Erin McNeill joins me tonight. She's the president and founder of Media Literacy Now. Erin, you focus on kids, and I'm thinking that could run anywhere from, kindergarten to 12th grade and beyond in education. How do kids absorb media differently than, let's say, adults?
Well, I think that kids have less experience with media. They also don't have any kind of history, and they're really just sponges. If you look at young kids, they're just gathering up all of the information that we're providing to them, whether we mean parents or the greater public or advertisers or any kind of media creator. So they're just absorbing everything like sponges.
And your approach focuses on schools. You've had a lot of uptake in different states. How does your program work?
We're working to ensure that schools are teaching media literacy K through 12. So that's our role and our reason for being. We are pushing state legislators, policymakers, education policymakers to understand what media literacy is and seek to ensure that they are recognizing it as an essential part of education today, just like literacy is.
And so who's in charge of the curriculum? Is it still the state? Because I'm guessing you get one state, they're in love with Rachel Maddow. You get another state, they're in love with Jesse Waters, And so who's in charge of curriculum?
Well, it's definitely a state-by-state issue in this country. And so we work with the states, and we're not looking to impose any sort of curriculum or national standards. We're seeking to encourage all of the states to come up with their standards that fit within their own sort of culture and needs for the state and what they feel is appropriate for their region.
I remember in school growing up, we'd watch Channel 1. Anderson Cooper was on and Lisa Ling was on. And it was kind of supposed to be this thing to keep kids in the know, straight down the middle, just straight facts. Is there any best practice that you see today that you think, okay, this state or this district is on to something really good?
Well, it's very scattershot, I would say, around the country. And so often it depends on a champion in a school who is ensuring that we're doing media literacy in the classroom. Sometimes it's a librarian. And really the best practice is teaching young people the critical thinking skills. So it's really about teaching them what are the questions to ask. It's not saying this is credible, this is not credible, because as time goes on, they're going to need to have those skills themselves. They can't just depend on somebody else to tell them. So we don't ever say this is the place to look and this is not. You need to learn the questions to ask. So some of the questions that you might ask are, who created this media and why? So was this created for profit, for power? What's being left out here? how might others perceive this media?
We've seen a lot more parents saying, I want to be involved in my kids' education. And if we are going to go the route of schools, it seems like parents might be a big deal. I'm sure you've put thought into this, because when you're young, if your parent thinks something, says something, it's true. You know, it is a fact. Do you have resources out there for families?
We do point to resources on our site, and that is something that a lot of people are looking for. So we have resources for teachers, for parents, according to where you are, what state you're in. But so these are resources that we're pointing to. There are so many great organizations out there that are creating great curriculum, great learning tools for parents, for teachers. And you can go to the Media Literacy Now website and find those and learn more about, what media literacy is.
Erin McNeill with Media Literacy Now. I love that you got this all started because as a mom, you looked at media and thought, something needs to be done. You have followed through in the biggest way. Thanks, Erin.
Thank you very much.